Section 1. The heartbeat of a people: cattle, culture, and identity. To understand the Dinka people, you must first understand the cow. This is not just an animal. It is a bank account. It is a status symbol. It is a family member. It is the thread that weaves through every part of life. A man's wealth is not counted in currency, but in the size and health of his herd. The horns of his favorite ox might be shaped into elegant curves. He might compose songs in its honor. This relationship goes far beyond simple farming. It is a deep spiritual connection that defines who you are and where you belong. For the Dinka, a life without cattle is a life without meaning. This profound bond is on full display during life's most important moments. When a couple gets married, the groom's family presents cattle to the bride's family. This is not buying a wife. It is a gesture of respect. It is a promise to unite two families and honor the value of the bride. These cattle, known as the bride price, create a lasting bond between the clans. They ensure that the new union is supported by the entire community. The exchange is a public celebration, a formal recognition that a new family has been established. The Dinka are one of the largest ethnic groups in South Sudan. You will find them living across a vast area: Bahr el Ghazal, Jonglei Abyei, sweeping savannas, seasonal floodplains, the Nile River and its tributaries. Their entire existence is adapted to this environment. They move with their herds in a seasonal migration. They seek fresh pastures during the dry season. They move to higher ground when the rains come. This pastoral lifestyle is not a choice. It is a necessary and ancient response to the land they call home. This essay will take you inside that world. We will look at who the Dinka are, exploring their language, social structure, spiritual beliefs. We will examine how their economy is built entirely around their cattle. But we cannot tell this story without talking about the hard parts. We must also look at the devastating impact of decades of civil war. The conflict has reshaped their lives, bringing immense suffering and displacement. Finally, we will consider the future. We'll see how a culture so rich and resilient faces the daunting challenge of finding peace and preserving its heritage in a rapidly changing world. It is a story of survival, identity, and hope. Section 2. Roots in the Nile. Who are the Dinka? The Dinka are part of the Nilotic peoples. Their ancestral home is the Nile River Valley. They share traits with other groups in the region: the Nuer, the Shilluk. Their history isn't in books, it's passed down. They have a rich oral tradition. Elders tell stories. Elders sing songs. Elders recite genealogies. These stories explain origins, ancestors' deeds, and their relationship with God, Nilotic. This history lives in community memory. You'll find the Dinka mainly in South Sudan. South Sudan became independent in 2011. They are not one political unit, but many related, independent clans. Their territory is vast, roughly the size of England. They live in villages and seasonal cattle camps. They move with the seasons. Their environment is harsh and beautiful. Grasslands lush and green in the rainy season, dusty and brown in the dry season. They search for water and grazing for their herds. The Dinka language, also called Dinka, is a continuum of dialects. Western and Eastern Dinka may sound different but understand each other. The language is tonal, rich in words for cattle, for the weather, for social relationships. It is the language of songs, prayers, epic poems. Picture a boy by a fire at night. His grandfather sings of a warrior 10 generations past. The song names the warrior's favorite ox. It recounts the battles he won. It shares the wisdom he left. The boy memorizes the melody and words. One day he'll sing it to his grandchildren. This is how Dinka history lives on. Not a museum artifact, but a living performance. A direct link to a deep past, so the ancestors are never truly gone. Section 3. The social fabric: clans, kinship, and beliefs. Dinka society is organized around family and kinship. It is not about the individual, but about the group. The most important unit is the clan, a large group who trace their lineage back to a common ancestor. Each clan is divided into sub-clans, extended families. Your identity is defined by your family, your clan. This structure creates a powerful social safety net. If a family suffers a tragedy, like losing their cattle to disease, relatives help rebuild the herd. This mutual support is essential for survival in a difficult environment. At the head of this social structure are the elders. In Dinka culture, age equals wisdom and respect. The elders are the keepers of tradition. They are the judges who resolve disputes. When there is disagreement over land cattle marriage, people turn to the elders. Their authority is not based on written laws, but on deep knowledge of custom and precedent. Chiefs, often from respected clans, hold special leadership roles. They guide rituals and act as the community's primary representatives, spiritually, politically. Their guidance is crucial for social harmony. Traditional Dinka spirituality is woven into daily life. The supreme being is Nilotic, a distant creator god associated with the sky and rain. While Nilotic is ultimate, the Dinka also communicate through lesser spirits honoring ancestors. They believe ancestors influence the living, offering blessings or causing trouble if not respected. Rituals are performed for good health, fertility for their cattle, successful harvests. Ceremonies are led by spiritual leaders with a special connection to the divine. Today, many Dinka have adopted Christianity. Missionaries have been active for over a century, and the church played a significant role during the Civil War. Conversion hasn't erased the old ways. Many Dinka blend new faith with traditional beliefs. A person might go to church on Sunday, still perform a ritual to honor an ancestor, seek a blessing for their herd. This syncretism shows cultural resilience. It is not a contradiction, but a way of making sense of the world by integrating the new with the ancient. Section 4. An economy on the hoof. Pastoralism and sustenance. The Dinka economy is almost entirely based on pastoralism, a way of life centered on raising livestock, primarily cattle. Herds are the main source of wealth, food, and social currency. Families move with their animals throughout the year in a pattern called transhumance. Transhumance migration routes and movement. During the rainy season, they stay in permanent villages on higher ground. They cultivate small gardens beside the village. Sorghum, millet, peanuts. These crops supplement their diet. When the dry season arrives and rivers recede, they move to temporary camps near riverbanks for water and grazing. Cattle are everything. They are living, walking resources. Milk, a dietary staple. Milk consumed fresh, milk fermented. Blood, carefully drawn from the neck without killing the animal. Blood cooked into a protein-rich meal. Slaughter is rare, reserved for weddings, funerals, important rituals. Hides made into clothing, bedding, ropes, dung dried and used as fuel for cooking fires. Every part of the animal has a purpose. This is a subsistence economy, not about modern profit. The goal, sustain family and community, not to accumulate cash. Cattle used in barter and social exchanges. Bride price. A man trading cows for grain in a lean year. Herd size equals family security. The herd as insurance if disaster strikes. Community interdependence fostered by this system. A world apart from individualistic, market-driven economies. But traditional life faces immense pressure. Climate change makes seasons unpredictable. More droughts and floods. Disrupted migration. Stress on people and animals. Influx of market goods and cash changes expectations, especially among youth. Tension between cattle-based and cash-based systems. Families forced to navigate livestock value versus paper money. Section 5. The scars of conflict. War, displacement, and politics. The modern history of the Dinka people is inseparable from the history of conflict in Sudan. The two long civil wars fought between the northern government in Khartoum and southern liberation movements ravaged their homeland for decades. The wars were not just about politics or religion, they were about resources, identity, and power. Dinka lands became a central battleground. Villages were burned, herds were looted, and countless lives were lost. The violence tore apart the social fabric, turning neighbors into enemies and leaving deep scars of trauma. This prolonged conflict has had a devastating humanitarian impact. Millions of people were displaced from their homes. Many Dinka fled to refugee camps in neighboring countries like Kenya, Ethiopia. Others became internally displaced, forced to seek safety in crowded camps within South Sudan. I remember seeing images of the lost boys of Sudan, many of whom were Dinka, who walked hundreds of miles to escape the violence. They lost their families, their homes, and their entire way of life. For a people whose identity is so tied to their land and their cattle, this displacement was more than just a physical loss. It was a profound spiritual and cultural wound. The Dinka have also played a central role in the politics of South Sudan. The leader of the Southern Rebellion for many years, John Garang, was a Dinka. The current president of South Sudan, Salva Kiir Mayardit, is also Dinka. This political dominance has given the group significant influence in the new nation. However, it has also created new tensions. Politics in South Sudan have often been organized along ethnic lines. This has led to power struggles and violent clashes between the Dinka and other major groups, particularly the Nuer. The fight for political control has fueled a new civil war, this time within South Sudan itself. The consequences of this recent internal conflict are staggering. The fighting has destroyed what little infrastructure existed. It has blocked humanitarian aid from reaching those in need, creating widespread hunger disease. Disputes over grazing land and water, which were once resolved by elders, now often escalate into deadly violence with modern weapons. The cycle of attack and revenge has created a deep sense of mistrust between communities. Rebuilding that trust is one of the greatest challenges facing South Sudan today. Peace is not just about signing a treaty, it is about healing the wounds of a generation of war. Section 6. A Resilient Spirit, the Future of Dinka Heritage. Despite the immense hardship, Dinka culture has shown incredible resilience. Even in the sprawling refugee camps, people found ways to keep their traditions alive. They gathered to sing the old songs. Elders continued to tell stories to the children. They held ceremonies to mark births. They held ceremonies to mark marriages, adapting rituals to their new, difficult circumstances. This cultural persistence is a testament to the strength of their identity. It provides a sense of continuity and belonging in a world that has been turned upside down. For many, their culture is the one thing that could not be taken from them. The future of the Dinka people is at a crossroads. They face the monumental task of rebuilding their society after decades of war. This requires more than just laying down arms. It requires reconciliation between ethnic groups. It demands fair political solutions that give all communities a voice. It also means addressing the root causes of conflict, like competition over land, and competition over water, which are being made worse by climate change. Education will be key. A new generation needs the tools to build a peaceful and prosperous nation. They must also have the opportunity to learn and cherish their unique heritage. To understand the Dinka is to appreciate a profound and complex relationship between people, animals, and the land. It is to see how a culture can provide meaning and structure to every aspect of life. Their story is a powerful reminder that wealth can be measured in more than just money. It is also a sobering lesson in how quickly conflict can destroy a way of life that has been sustained for centuries. Their journey forces us to look at the devastating human cost of war and the difficult path to peace. It is a story that should matter to all of us. There is hope, but it is a cautious hope. The path forward for the Dinka and for all the people of South Sudan will be long and difficult. It will require immense courage and a willingness to forgive. It will require support from the international community. But most of all, it will require the people themselves to draw on the same resilience that has allowed them to survive for so long. The songs about their cattle are also songs about their strength. The hope is that one day soon, they will be able to sing those songs in a land that is finally at peace.